My name is Lucy Siegel. I am a journalist and broadcaster based in the UK, and I have been obsessed, consumed with the environmental and social impacts of the fashion industry for about a decade. And we used to have a system, a fashion system, where people would go to the shows, so they would do spring, summer, autumn, winter, and those kind of ran like clockwork for very many years. Okay, rip that up, throw it out the window. That has absolutely nothing to do with the fashion industry today. It has been reinvented.
The shift is moving ruthlessly towards a way of producing which only really looks after big business interest.
The more production we've outsourced, the cheaper prices have become on the clothing we buy, making way for a whole new model known as fast fashion, almost overnight transforming the way clothing is bought and sold.
The newest H&M store on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan is the company's largest ever and just one of many new stores it's planning around the country.
It's all part of a high street revolution, fast fashion.
Instead of 2 seasons a year, we practically have 52 seasons a year. So we have something new coming in every week. And fast fashion has created this so that it can essentially shift more product.
You can get this Fringe Metallic skirt for $39 at Joe Fresh, a brand new store in town.
With price tags that might look a little bit more appealing to budget-conscious shoppers.
American consumers, they really have grasped the fashion part of H&M, and we know from before that American consumers are very value-oriented. If you match these two together with fashion and value, then you have a recipe.
One Japanese clothing retailer is making a fast and furious march here in the U.S.
The price has dropped. The way of making that product has completely changed. And you have to ask yourself at some point, where does it end?
The global marketplace is someplace where we export work to have happen in whatever conditions we want, and then the products come back to me cheap enough to throw away without thinking about it.
Well, globalized production basically means that all of the making of goods has been outsourced to low-cost economies, particularly where wages are very low and kept low. And what that means is that those at the top of the value chain, they get to choose where the products are being made, and they get to switch. If, for example, one factory says, we can't make it that cheap anymore, the brand will say, well, we're not going to come to you anymore, we're going to switch to another place which is cheaper.
In the West, they are using everyday low price. So every day they are hampering me and I'm hampering my workers. This is how it is. They are competing. The stores are competing in there. When the stores are coming to us for order and negotiating, they are telling, look, that particular store is selling this shirt with like $5, so I need it to sell it in the $4. So you better squeeze your price. So we are squeezing. Then other store is coming and selling, hey, they are selling it the $4. So the target price is 3. If you can meet the 3, you are getting business, otherwise you are not getting. Because we want that business so badly and we don't have other options, okay, every time we are trying to survive actually.
Ultimately, something's got to give. Either the price of the product has to go up, or manufacturers have to shut down, or cut corners to make it work.
Cutting corners and disregarding safety measures had become an accepted part of doing business in this new model, until an early morning in April, when an event just outside of Dhaka, Bangladesh, brought a hidden side of fashion to front page news.
This enormous, rapacious industry that is generating so much profit for a handful of people, why is it that it is unable to support millions of its workers properly? Why is it that it is not able to guarantee their safety? We're talking about essential human rights. Why is it unable to guarantee that whilst generating these tremendous profits? Is it because it doesn't work properly? That is my question.
Lucy's question sounds like the obvious one, but instead of answering it, everywhere I looked I found people who were constantly justifying the cost, because of the economic benefits being generated. Low wages, unsafe conditions, and factory disasters are all excused because of the needed jobs they create for people with no alternatives. This story has become the narrative, used to explain the way the fashion industry now operates all over the world.
আমার নাম সীমা, আমার বয়স এই 23 বছর। আমি ঢাকা আসছি তখন আমার বয়স ছিল 12 বছর।
Shima is one of about 40 million garment factory workers in the world. Almost 4 million of these workers are here in Bangladesh, working in almost 5,000 factories, making clothing for major Western brands. Over 85% of these workers are women, and with a minimum wage of less than $3 a day, they are among the lowest paid garment workers in the world.
কারণ আমি ঢাকা আসছি, আইসা আমার খালার কাছে থেকে আমি চাকরি করি গার্মেন্টসে। যখন আমি গার্মেন্টস চাকরি নিয়েছি তখন 700 টাকা বেতনে গার্মেন্টসের চাকরি নিয়েছি। আমার মেয়ের নাদিয়া। প্রায় 15 দিন আমি অফিসে নিয়ে গেছি, কিন্তু অফিসে প্রচন্ড গরম, আর ওই কাজের ভিতরে তো মনে করেন মিলানো, ওই মেডিসিন মিলানো, ওগুলো বাচ্চাদের মুখে গেলে অনেক ক্ষতি হয়ে যায়। বিষয় হলো যে আমি ঢাকা নিয়ে রাখতে পারতেছি না, আমার রাখার মানুষ নাই। তারপরে আমাদের এই অফিসে ইউনিয়ন করছি, এই ইউনিয়নের পর থেকে আমি প্রেসিডেন্ট পোস্টে আছি। তখনই স্যারের সাথে মানে রাবিনামাটা জমাও দেওয়া হয়েছে, স্যাররা রিসিভও করছে। রিসিভ করার পরে স্যারের সাথে একটু কথা কাটাকাটি হয়, কথা কাটাকাটিতে হওয়ার পরবর্তীতে তারা দরজা লক করে 30-40 জনের স্টাফ এবং স্যারেরা মিলে আমাদের উপরে এরকম আক্রমণ করে, অনেক মারধর করে। এবং সাথে চেয়ার ছিল, তারপর মনে করেন যে ওই লাঠি ছিল, স্কেল মিস্কেল ছিল, সিজার মিজার ছিল, ওইগুলো দিয়ে। এবং বেশিরভাগই আমাদের অত্যাচার করছে, তারা শুধু লাঠি মারছে, ঘুষি মারছে এবং ওয়ালের সাথে মাথা বাইরে এসেছে, বেশিরভাগই বুকে এবং তলপেটে, এদিকে আমাদের অনেক আঘাত করছে স্টাফরা।
It's estimated that 1 in every 6 people alive in the world today work in some part of the global fashion industry, making it the most labor-dependent industry on Earth. Most of this work is done by people, like Shima, who have no voice in the larger supply chain.
My grandparents settled out here in the 20s, and so this is a part of my heritage. You're actually sitting in the high plains of Texas, and there's 3.6 million acres of cotton grown in this region. We're literally the biggest cotton patch in the world. In just the past 10 years, 80% of that is now GMO, genetically modified cotton. Most of it is Roundup ready, meaning that instead of the farmers spot spraying weeds occasionally in their field or hiring laborers to walk the field and eliminate the weeds, now they're spraying whole fields.
Cotton produces the fiber that's responsible for most of the clothing worn by the world today. And as our appetite for fashion grows, the cotton plant itself is being re-engineered to keep up.
There's been this big drive towards the industrialization of agriculture, the intensification of agriculture. So instead of the old forms of farming, which were very much in tune with nature, they were linked to the cycles of the natural year and the seasons, what you see now is an intensification where the land is almost reconsidered as if it was a factory.
What you've created is this general practice of we treat millions of acres the same. We put a dose of chemical on it all, and that's when you get these big ecological effects that nobody has a grasp of what's really happening. nature tends to heal itself in small pockets. But when you get this big, broad approach, we really don't know what's going on.
For us, it's not reducing the amount of pesticides and chemicals that are going on the cotton. That's one of the big sales. It reduces that. Not in our area where we are spraying millions and millions of acres and dollars of Roundup across the entire South Plains. What kind of impact is that having on our soil with residuals that are left at the microbacterial level? What kind of impact is that having on the people in our communities? Where's the cost on that?
Monsanto is proud to be the industry leader in agricultural innovation because of what these agricultural advancements can do to help you double yields for the future needs of the world. We're dedicated to the future of agriculture and providing farmers with innovations that help them produce more and conserve more, while improving the lives of people around the world. Together, we can face the challenges of the next generation and beyond.
As it becomes clear just how much of an impact fashion is having on our world, there is an increasing amount of research to suggest that it's also having a growing effect on us, the people buying these clothes.
What we now know 20 years later and hundreds of studies later is that the more that people are focused on those materialistic values, the more that they say that money and image and status and possessions are important to them, the less happy they are. The more depressed they are, the more anxious they are. We know that all of these kinds of psychological problems tend to go up as materialistic values go up. Now, that's really at odds with the thousands of messages that we receive every day from advertisements suggesting that materialism and the pursuit of possessions and owning stuff is what's going to make us happy.
It's important to understand that advertising is a species or a category of propaganda. We think of propaganda as a totalitarian thing, very grim, loudspeakers, chanting crowds and so on. Or we think of Hitler. We always think of it as a foreign thing, okay? But it's actually as American as apple pie.
Well, the reason that advertising works is because the smart advertisers, at least, are trying to tie the consumption of their product to a message that suggests that your needs will be satisfied by consuming this thing.
It wants you to believe that you'll look wonderful in that thing, but then to put it on and feel like, nah, you look kind of fat in it. You don't look that good in it. You're sorry you bought it, but there's another one you can buy.
I'm here for the next high, the next guy. I'll be a god in the next life. Don't you love me now? I'm more than a maker, but shit's greater. This name won't fade away. Don't you love me now?
So think of all of the car commercials you see that show, well, I've really made it now. I'm a competent person because I'm driving this BMW or this Audi. Or think of all the shampoo commercials you've seen where the person now has beautiful flowing hair and is loved and appreciated by the people around them. The basic message is the same. The way to solve the problems of your life, we all have problems in our life, the way to solve the problem in your life is through consumption.
Hey you guys! Today I'm coming to you guys with a clothing haul.
I went shopping a couple of days ago and literally went insane and bought so many things.
My spam box, I don't know, where it's literally blown up by you guys saying you guys wanted a haul. So, here it is. Okie dokie. So first off, I have some things that I got from H&M.
So then I went to Forever 21.
It wasn't even a question. It was just like fate. I just had to get it. Like if it could levitate towards me, it would have levitated.
I got this skirt, bright yellow, and it was $8.50.
It's a jean button-up thing.
And I just love this. I just loved it, loved it, loved it.
It's a gray knit sweater and it has pink hearts all over it. I love tie-dye things. Like, tie-dye things are literally the bomb.net. It has a little yin-yang sign on the front of it. I just love these so much.
And it's just this really pretty light blue sweater. I don't even know if I'm going to wear this now that I got it, because I don't know if I like it that much.
I need to stop.